21. The heart of emptiness. All the innumerable forms of day correspond to the norm of Tao, but the nature of the Tao's activity is infinitely abstract and elusive. Elusive and obscure indeed, but at its heart are forms and types. Vague and elusive indeed, but at its heart is all being. Unfathomable and obscure indeed, but at its heart is all spirit, and spirit is reality. At its heart is truth. From of old its expression is unceasing. It has been present at all beginnings. How do I know that its nature is thus? By this same Tao. 22. Increase by humility. At that time, the deficient will be made perfect. The distorted will be straightened. The empty will be filled. The worn out will be renewed. Those having little will obtain, and those having much will be overcome. Therefore, the wise man, embracing unity as he does, will become the world's model. Not pushing himself forward, he will become enlightened. Not asserting himself, he will become distinguished. Not boasting of himself, he will acquire merit. Not approving himself, he will endure. For as much as he will not quarrel, the world will not quarrel with him. Is the old saying, "The crooked shall be made straight," a false saying? Indeed, no. They will be perfected and return rejoicing. 23. Emptiness and not doing. Wu Wei. Taciturnity is natural to man. A whirlwind never outlasts the morning, nor a violent rain the day. What is the cause? It is heaven and earth. If even heaven and earth are not constant, much less can man be. Therefore, he who pursues his affairs in the spirit of Tao will become Tao-like. He who pursues his affairs with day will become day-like. He who pursues his affairs with loss identifies himself with loss. He who identifies himself with Tao, Tao rejoices to guide. He who identifies himself with day, day rejoices to reward. And he who identifies himself with loss, loss rejoices to ruin. If his faith fail, he will receive no reward of faith. 24. Troubles and merit. It is not natural to stand on tiptoe, or being astride one does not walk. One who displays himself is not bright, or one who asserts himself cannot shine. A self-approving man has no merit, nor does one who praises himself grow. The relation of these things, self-display, self-assertion, self-approval, to Tao is the same as offal is to food. They are excrescences from the system. They are detestable. Tao does not dwell in them. 25. Describing the mysterious. There is being that is all-inclusive and that existed before heaven and earth. Calm, indeed, and incorporeal. It is alone and changeless. Everywhere it functions unhindered. It thereby becomes the world's mother. I do not know its nature. If I try to characterize it, I will call it Tao. If forced to give it a name, I will call it the Great. The Great is evasive. The evasive is the distant. The distant is ever coming near. Tao is great. So is heaven great, and so is earth, and so also is the representative of heaven and earth. Man is derived from nature. Nature is derived from heaven. Heaven is derived from Tao. Tao is self-derived. 26. The virtue of dignity. The heavy is the root of the light. The quiet is master of motion. Therefore the wise man in all the experience of the day will not depart from dignity. Though he be surrounded with sights that are magnificent, he will remain calm and unconcerned. How does it come to pass that the emperor, master of 10,000 chariots, has lost the mastery of the empire? Because being flippant himself, he has lost the respect of his subjects. Being passionate himself, he has lost the control of the empire. 27. The function of skill. Good walkers leave no tracks. Good speakers make no errors. Good counters need no abacus. Good wardens have no need for bolts and locks, for no one can get by them. Good binders can dispense with rope and cord, yet none can unloose their hold. Therefore the wise man trusting in goodness always saves men, for there is no outcast to him. Trusting in goodness, he saves all things, for there is nothing valueless to him. This is recognizing concealed values. Therefore, the good man is the instructor of the evil man, and the evil man is the good man's wealth. He who does not esteem his instructors or value his wealth, though he be otherwise intelligent, becomes confused. Herein lies the significance of spirituality. 28. Returning to simplicity. He who knows his manhood and understands his womanhood becomes useful like the valleys of earth. Being like the valleys of earth, eternal vitality will not depart from him. He will come again to the nature of a little child. He who knows his innocence and recognizes his sin becomes the world's model. Being a world's model, infinite day will not fail. He will return to the absolute. He who knows the glory of his nature and recognizes also his limitations becomes useful like the world's valleys. Being like the world's valleys, eternal Te will not fail him. He will revert to simplicity. Radiating simplicity, he will make of men vessels of usefulness. The wise man then will employ them as officials and chiefs. A great administration of such will harm no one. 29. Not forcing things, Wu Wei. One who desires to take and remake the empire will fail. The empire is a divine thing that cannot be remade. He who attempts it will only mar it. He who seeks to grasp it will lose it. People differ. Some lead, others follow. Some are ardent, others are formal. Some are strong, others weak. Some succeed, others fail. Therefore, the wise man practices moderation. He abandons pleasure, extravagance, and indulgence. 30. Be stingy of war. When the magistrate follows Tao, he has no need to resort to force of arms to strengthen the empire, because his business methods alone will show good returns. Briars and thorns grow rank where an army camps. Bad harvests are the sequences of a great war. The good ruler will be resolute and then stop. He dare not take by force. One should be resolute but not boastful, resolute but not haughty, resolute but not arrogant, resolute but yielding when it cannot be avoided, resolute but he must not resort to violence. By a resort to force, things flourish for a time, but then decay. This is not like the Tao, and that which is not Tao-like will soon cease.